Hi, I'm Daniel from ligo.co.uk and this is the Roberts Rambler Classic. While best known for their iconic Revival range, Roberts have also been making the Rambler since the 1970s. There have been a number of different versions of it over the years, but at the end of 2024, Roberts decided it was time to refresh that range with a whole new lineup. As the name suggests, the Rambler Classic is very much the centerpiece of this range and the closest in its design to the very first Rambler. But how does it stack up? Let's take a closer look. Okay, let's start out with a little unboxing to show you the package that the Rambler Classic comes in. One thing to mention is that it's all plastic free, so nice and eco-friendly. If I open up the box, you'll see that inside we've got a quick start guide, so you can get using the radio right away. All the controls laid out there for you. And then inside you've got the radio itself, which obviously I'll be coming on to in the rest of this video. Instruction manual with all the controls in a bit more detail, as well as how to use the additional features, warranty information, and required legalese that you get with all electronics, and then finally the power cable. A little touch, but the power cable is a sort of fabric finish rather than plastic. Nice little touch there. Now that it's out of the box, let's start with a look at the design of the Rambler Classic. Now, I always mention this in these video reviews, but the design and build quality of Roberts products is really one of their key selling points and why they've remained so highly desirable over the last 80 years. As the name suggests, the Rambler Classic sticks quite closely to the core of the original Rambler design. On the front, you've got the iconic speaker grille. In fact, the only thing that's different about this front section from the original Rambler is the placement of the Roberts logo. Then all the controls are on the top here. You've got two different dials, one for the volume, which is also the power button, and one for scanning through stations, which is also the play and pause button. I have a nice satisfying click to them, as do all Roberts radios, just a little touch, but one of the things that I find quite pleasing about Roberts radios, nice and tactile. Then the rest of the controls are these buttons along the top, good size, nicely spaced out, very self-explanatory to use. And then finally, in the middle, where the dial would have been on the original Rambler, you've got a full color screen, which will display a little picture of the station that you're listening to, as well as all the track information as well. The most recent iteration of the Rambler prior to this new lineup was the Rambler Mini, which was a little bit of a step down, if I'm honest, in terms of build quality, as it was a fully plastic design. But if you'll pardon the pun, the Classic is a real return to their classic build quality. You've got the wooden casing, which you can see at either side. And then the center of the radio is wrapped in a leatherette casing, available in two different colors, navy blue or the duck egg, which I've got here. The Rambler Uno and Midi, the smaller versions, are available in a cream as well, but this one just navy and duck egg. And then finally, the Rambler Classic also includes a carry handle in the same color as the main body of the radio. Given the size of the Rambler Classic, it's not that easy to pick up and carry one-handed, so the carry handle definitely useful if you're planning on using it as a portable radio. So that's all about the design, and it's definitely a very well built piece of kit, but given that the Rambler Classic is far from the cheapest DAB radio on the market, you'll naturally want it to sound good as well as look good, and I'm pleased to say that the Rambler Classic lives up to Roberts' reputation for building excellent sounding radios. If I pop it next to the smaller Rambler Uno, another in this new lineup, you'll see that there is quite a difference in size here. So as you would expect, the Rambler Classic does pack a bit more of a punch than its smaller sibling. Sometimes I've found with radios that are landscape oriented that they can be a little bit light on bass, but to help combat that, Roberts have integrated the bit where the cables go in the bottom to double as a bass reflex port. So when that's sat on a surface, ideally something nice and solid, it will bounce the sound back up and give it a bit more punch. As for features, the Rambler Classic includes both DAB and FM modes, so you get a really wide selection of stations that you can tune into. As I already mentioned, one of these dials on the top is used for scrolling through stations, a lot easier in my opinion than having to repeatedly press a button to scroll through stations. But to make the Rambler Classic even easier to use, it comes with these 5 one-touch preset buttons on the top. As the name suggests, save the station to these, and then just with one press, it will automatically switch the radio to that station. So you can instantly flick between the ones that you listen to most. For comparison, the Rambler Uno only has 2 of these, so more convenient here. And you can save up to 40 stations in total, 20 on DAB, 20 on FM. Any after 6 upwards are saved to a separate preset menu, which you still have to scroll through. But if you want to say 10 or 15 stations, that's still more convenient than having to scroll through everything. It's also got Bluetooth built in, so you can connect up your phone to listen to music or podcasts that way, and means as well as being a portable radio, you can also use it as a portable speaker. The one difference between the Rambler Classic and the slightly more expensive Rambler Max is that the latter also lets you tune into internet radio. Is that extra functionality worth the additional cost? In my book, probably. It's only about £20 or so, and it does give you a lot more choice of listening. But obviously, to connect to the internet radio, the radio needs to be linked up to a Wi-Fi. So if you're planning on mainly using the radio out of the house, where you won't have that, or if it's just not a function that you're particularly interested in, then you'd be probably better off sticking with the Rambler Classic and saving yourself that little bit of money. The smaller 2 models in this new Rambler lineup, the Uno and the Midi, can both be powered by AA batteries, but given the size and output power of the Rambler Classic and Max, they both require a bespoke battery pack, which is sold separately. This is my only real complaint about these 2 models, given that the Rambler name suggests that they're meant to be used as portable radios, and that was very much the concept behind them originally. It's a bit annoying that you have to spend a bit more to actually get that portable use out of the Classic, but there you go. So there we have it, the Roberts Rambler Classic, a very nice looking and sounding radio that's a worthy successor to the Rambler name. If you've got any questions or comments about this product, pop them below this video. And to get your hands on one of these for yourself, head over to ligo.co.uk.